Hi everyone, my name is Karen, this is my channel RatherBeReading, and today I'm bringing to you my book review for The Love That Split the World by Emily Henry. So, The Love That Split the World by Emily Henry. I read recently, I finished it a few days ago. I buddy read this book with Aoife from Fred Weasley Died Laughing, which added a lot to my experience. So I will leave a link to Aoife's channel down below for you guys to check out because she's totally adorable and I love her. I don't do many book reviews on this channel, you will know, and I don't like forcing myself to do book reviews, but because it makes me anxious. But I had a lot of thoughts and a lot of feelings about this book, and basically as soon as I finished it, I was like, I think I'm going to film a review for this because I've got a lot to say. And this is a book that has very mixed reviews. I have seen some of my favorite booktubers have very differing opinions. Books and Lala, for example, totally adored this, gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Bookables, who I also adore, hated it, 2 stars. So it is quite a divisive book. This is a book, to get started, I'll let you know what it's about. This is a story about Natalie. Natalie is basically finishing up high school, and she's starting to see things a little bit differently in the world, not just metaphorically, but literally. She is seeing some different things around. She'll pass a house that used to have a red door and she'll see a green door, things like that. She gets visited at night by someone that she knows as grandmother, someone who she can see quite clearly that she saw when she was younger, but she hasn't seen in years. Grandmother tells her stories, things like that, and grandmother says to her one day, you have 3 months to save him. That's all I'm going to tell you guys. That's a very vague description. I think it's best to go in with a vague description. I think if you know too much about this and you're expecting a lot out of it, that ruins the enjoyment of it. I enjoyed this. I really did. I had a really good time reading it. I actually thought when I went through it that it would probably be a 4-star read for me. My end rating for this is a 3.5. I'm going to go through basically all my feelings about it. This is a spoiler-free review. I'm not going to be spoiling anything. I'm going to let you guys know the things I liked, the things I didn't like, etc. So basically, the things that I liked. This book has a really, really great messages in it. I thought a lot of things that you can really take away. There's a lot of great messages about being loved and that people are loved, and that no matter what's happening in the world and what's happening to you, your life particularly, the world keeps going. It keeps turning. People don't stop loving you. They don't stop, I mean, obviously relationships end and things like that, but your family doesn't stop loving you, and the world just keeps going. And I don't know, for me, that was a really powerful thing that I took away. There's actually a quote that I want to mention here, and that was, there's always more to see and feel. And that quote is not my favorite quote. I will be talking about my favorite quote later on, but it's one of this book. Here's another thing I really liked. The writing. There are some delicious quotes and passages and descriptive writing and things like this and that. So if that's something that you're into, this book's got you covered. It was the writing, I say, quotes a palooza. Many quotes in here that I was like, as I was reading, I was like, hello, yes, I agree. So yeah, really loved the writing. Really great messages to take away. I personally really adored the romance. There is a romance in this. It is a YA contemporary novel for the most part, so there is romance. I personally, 100% behind the romance. I was here for it. I loved it. I have seen reviews that describe this as insta-love. I disagree. I 100% disagree. The time frame of this book is about 3 months, so it's not a super long kind of progression, but it feels like a lot of time is passing, and the full-on like development of feelings, like kind of in this, it does take place over the whole book. They don't fall in love at the start and then it's about them like fighting to be together. That's not what this is about. And So I just don't agree that it's insta-love. And I also feel like one of the reasons that Natalie and Bo is the love interest, really connect is because they are both going through things and experiencing things that only the other person is experiencing. I'm not going to say what those are because I don't want to spoil anything, but they are both like basically the only two people in the world who are experiencing these things, and that connects them so much, and it just made the connection between them feel like so authentic, in my opinion. And it just didn't feel like insta love to me. It really didn't. I have also mentioned a few people in a few reviews that I read say that there's a love triangle. Again, I completely disagree. Natalie has in this book broken up with someone like prior to this book starting. She's broken up with a boy named Matt, and there's kind of some unresolved things going on there, but it's not unresolved kind of like romantically. Natalie at no point, in my opinion, is ever considering going back into a relationship with Matt. She's not deciding, does she want to be with Matt or does she want to be with Bo? That's never something that she's thinking about. So I just don't really understand people who say that there's a love triangle, because there's not. Something that I disliked, Matt. I fucking hated Matt. Matt is a dick. There's some things in this book that made me want to punch him in the dick. Like, Matt's not a cool dude. And one of the things that made me, I really love Natalie as a character. I really did. But there are some times in this book where she is kind of making some excuses for Matt. And I was just like, girl, you need to like rethink what's going on here, because just no, like, tell Matt to fuck off because he's a dick. I'm sorry, but like, he actually made me really mad. And there's some scenes in this that, like, they're just not something forgivable, that I don't think someone can ever really be forgived for. And like I say, when she was trying to make excuses, I was just like, So Matt is something that I didn't like. There are also some other things that I didn't like. There are some quite sciencey, heavy parts of this book that are almost a bit info dumpy. They are, I'm not going to lie. I personally still really enjoyed the book, and I'm not into science whatsoever. I like all that just like over my head. And that did happen a bit in this, because there are some portions where some stuff that's going on is trying to be explained, and I was just like, what? Like, what's happening? It also could get a bit preachy with some of its messages. As I mentioned, I really loved Natalie as a character. Natalie has Native American heritage, which I really adored, but something that I didn't love was that I didn't think that was explored enough. I really thought that we could have gotten more. So Natalie is Native American, but she's been adopted. Her mother gave her up for adoption when she was born, obviously, and she's been adopted into a non-Native American family, and I really thought there could have been more done for Natalie exploring that heritage. It was kind of in there a little bit, but I just really thought, like, some of the stories that grandmother tells to her, I'm pretty sure, I don't know, so please don't quote me on this, and if I'm mistaken, I apologize, but I believe have Native American backgrounds, like some of the stories. So that was kind of good, but I just really didn't feel like that was explored enough. Having said that, one of the things that I really did like in terms of Natalie having been adopted and stuff was her family relationships. This ain't no book where the mum and dad are just like real like not involved. Natalie's parents are great. They are really involved. They're really supportive parents. They love her and are really trying to support her. And she's also got a younger brother and sister who are twins, who are biological children of her parents, which is something that, you know, she has causes like, you know, some thoughts and feelings in her, obviously, because she's adopted and they aren't. And so that's like really good. But she also has a really great relationship with Coco and Jack, her younger brother and sister. And the family relationships were they were really good. If you are looking for strong family relationships in a book, then this is definitely something worth checking out. One final thing that I didn't really like or dislike, I was just a bit like unsure, was the ending. Ending of this is a little bit kind of unresolved, which can be a good thing and a bad thing. It personally left me feeling a bit like, but like not really in a good way. I was a bit confused. It was a little bit too unresolved for me, in that I didn't really understand exactly what had happened, and it was a little bit convenient. Like, it comes across as being a little bit like, oh, so we're just going to do that, really, like, because it goes against what you've just said. But I felt like that may have been because of the sciencey parts being so info dumpy. So I don't know, I didn't super love the ending, but at the same time, the ending didn't really take away anything from me for the rest of the story. So it is still totally enjoyable. I personally really enjoyed it. As I said, I gave it 3.5 stars. I definitely think it's worth checking out. Even if you've heard mixed reviews, you've heard people saying that they really didn't like it. If it sounds like from this review, like what I've said, I know I've just kind of hit you guys with a whole lot of just blah, 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 but I think it's worth checking out is basically what I'm getting at. I'm really glad that I gave it a go. I was very unsure about this after I'd heard a lot of people giving it a very like so-so reviews, but I'm glad that I read it, basically. I will just want to touch on now just quickly my favorite quote from the whole book, because when I read this quote, like, it actually touched me emotionally. I'm like, feel quite emotional now just thinking about the quote, and that is, "The world is going to keep right on being beautiful and terrible all at once." And I just thought, whew, like, man, like, that is a great quote, because like I said, it really was one of the takeaway messages that I took from this about the world just keeps on turning. Everything that's happening to you, like personally, the world is going to keep going. Bad things are going to happen, beautiful things are going to happen, and it's just going to keep on happening, and anything that you do is not going to stop bad things from happening to you. It's not. Like, things are going to happen to you in your life, they're going to be shit. Like, it's just part of life. But there are going to be things that are going to happen to you in your life that are going to be beautiful and so worth, like, living for. And it's just, I thought it was a beautiful quote. It was, like I said, it really just kind of wrapped up everything good that I took from the book into like almost one quote. So I really love that quote. I definitely think this book is worth reading. I gave it 3.5 stars. Yes. So that was my book review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know that I was a bit all over the place in this video, and I apologize, but I'd love to chat with you guys in the comments down below. If you read the book, if you loved it, if you didn't love it, I'd love to chat with you either way. Like I said, I know there's a lot to love in it, and I know there's a lot not to enjoy in it, so I'd love to chat with you guys. Or if you want to pick it up and you're not sure you have any questions, I'd love to chat down below. Please like this video if you liked it. Please subscribe if you want to see more from my channel. But that's all I've got for this video today. Bye, guys.